Yes, yes, yes. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the comfort zone and how you can actually enjoy stepping out of it. You feel what I'm saying to you? A lot of the times people like, step out of the comfort zone. When you step outside, you're going to be uncomfortable. And that seems like it's challenging, it's worrying. But at the same time, it doesn't always have to be uncomfortable. Well, it will be uncomfortable, but that's not always a bad thing. You feel me? You can have fun with it. And I'm going to let you know how, yeah? Stay tuned. What's going on? My name is Christopher Daniels and I help people to overcome self-sabotage and live a purpose-driven life, and that's through mindset coaching and content creation, yeah? If you're new, I just want to say welcome to you. If you're back here again, welcome back, welcome back. I had to do that, even though the vocals are not clean. But anyway, let's get into it, yeah? The comfort zone. Like, feel a lot of the time, yeah, for me as well, it's like you have to get uncomfortable to be able to grow. And that's true, it's very true. Because those of you that have been chilling on the sofa, watching Netflix for time, or whether you've been like watching porn, bashing your bishop for time, you know, like not a lot of no growth happens. Well, it can grow, like if you're sitting down watching Netflix and just not doing any exercise, you can grow bigger. But at the same time, like you may not grow towards what you're trying to grow to within like your career or any other area of your life, you feel me? Because you're stagnant. And to be able to grow, you need to be able to become uncomfortable. You feel what I'm saying to you? But that, again, it's not always a bad thing. And I feel like that's what puts a lot of people off. And it put me off for a long time. But when I realized that being uncomfortable is not always something that's a bad thing and it can be fun, then I was like, hey, let me get uncomfortable. You feel what I'm saying to you? And what actually taught me this was, I remember I used to do, like pre-COVID, like I was doing judo. Yeah, so I trained in judo, and what I loved about judo is that it was just fun, you could explore, you can do your thing, and it was just free flowing, and I love the flows, everything about it, man. Let me not even I'll just get sidetracked. But what I learned about it, about being uncomfortable is, I remember starting off as a white belt. Yeah, when you start as a white belt, brand new, you feel me, beginner. And what I always used to do as a white belt was go and try to challenge the black belts. I went to go and do randori with the black belts. Or, yeah, when I had the opportunity, I'll go do randori with the black belts. What randori is, for those of you that don't know, randori is like sparring in boxing. It's like, it's practice, like practicing, but you're fighting, if that makes sense. So you're fighting, but it's practice. You're fighting in practice, yeah? So I wanted to do randori with the black belts. And what I learned from that is, these black belts will rip me apart, they'll throw me, they'll get me in submissions or all the other, and it was uncomfortable, but even though it was uncomfortable, that's where I learned the most. And how did I learn? I learned because they'll throw me in certain ways. I can ask them, oh, how did you do that? Boom, they'll show me. Hey, they get me in a certain submission, I'll tap out. Hey, how did you do that? Boom, they'll tell me. And then the more and more I went into those uncomfortable spaces, like I get used to it. Okay, I know that, okay, he's gonna do this for now, and I can read it. Or he's gonna try to submit me like this. Okay, let me intervene. And by me going straight into the deep end, yeah, with the black belts, what I recognized was that I was getting more used to being in that space. Even though it was uncomfortable, I was developing at a faster rate than if I was staying with the white belts. You feel what I'm saying? The white belts is cool, you learn this, you learn the basics, so on and so forth. But at the same time, when you go up, it was like, woo. And I remember going back and doing randori with the white belts, and it just felt so easy, like, hey, you feel me? But that's where I was, and I could have stayed there. I could have been like, this is the beginning stage, so I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna work my way up. But by going straight into the deep end, when I came back to where I would have initially been if I just stayed there and took it easy, my development had increased so much, and I was like, yo, they asked me, have you done this before? Nah, I haven't done it before. I just went straight into the deep end. You feel what I'm saying to you? But the reason why I felt comfortable going straight into the deep end was because I can't lie. I love physical activity. I like the fighting. I like violence. Not violence on that one, but I like to be aggressive and I'm involved in that. That's something that I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable being violent, so I can be in spaces where I feel uncomfortable because I'm comfortable with violence as a whole, with the fighting and all of that. Like, I'm calm with that. Like, put me there and it's cool. Like, I was yeah, you feel me? I'm comfortable throwing people. I'm comfortable being thrown. So there's certain things, I train on a regular basis, so I know that, okay, if I get thrown, I'll be able to land safely. Like, I'm cool with all the physical activity because I'm always, like, I go gym and there's certain things I do around it that helps me to be comfortable. So you gotta ask yourself, like, when you're going in, and this is a great way for you to learn as well. Ask yourself, like, what are you comfortable doing? Like, what are you comfortable doing? You may be comfortable in a gym, you may be comfortable writing essays, you may be comfortable with whatever it is, like, and then put yourself into a situation where you can challenge yourself with that. So you may be good at the gym, but it's not, okay, now let me try some bar work, for example. Is it calisthenics? Don't quote me on that. I think it's calisthenics, how you pronounce it. But yeah, let me try some bar work, calisthenics, and then do your thing with it and see how good you can adapt. Because you've got a basic foundation already, challenging yourself in that won't be too difficult. But what it trains you to do is get used to becoming uncomfortable. And that's a major key. It's something that's very important. But the best way to learn and get used to it is by starting with something that you've already got decent skill sets in and then applying it in there. And it'll be easier for you to say, okay, I'm gonna get uncomfortable in this because you know that I will be safe. Like I said, with me being somebody that's always, I got 3 brothers. I had loads of male older cousins. We used to, you feel me? We used to do wrestling and that, you feel me? So we're used to all of the violence and throwing and that. So I can jump in straight into the deep end when it was judo, even though I haven't done it before, because I was comfortable being thrown around. I was comfortable being like in all of these holes and locks and that, because I'm used to it. So I could just jump straight in and it allowed me to learn a lot faster. So you gotta ask yourself, what are you comfortable with? And then look into an area within that you can throw yourself into the deep end and just train yourself. Because what happens next is you just apply that theory into other places. It's copy and paste, same principle. And I can even give you this one. For those of you that play video games as well, if you play at easy, you play a video game at easy level, boom, it's going to be comfortable, it's going to be nice, you have fun. You go level up, let's play FIFA, you play world class. After playing, what's the first level? I don't know if it's semi-pro, maybe it's semi-pro. You go to world class now, yeah, or professional, and it becomes a bit harder. But because you are used to the controls, you can do your thing and you can have a little bit of fun. Your development will be okay, but if you go to Legendary, which is the most difficult level. I mean, now it's probably easy for a lot of people, but because FIFA's been there for years. But back then it was different. But like, if you go to Legendary, you master Legendary and you're comfortable with it, what happens is when you're playing with people that haven't got certain skill sets, that skill set there, it's going to be easy for you. You feel what I'm saying? You'll challenge yourself. And sometimes the opposition is going to be a lot harder. The opposition is going to be a lot harder, but with them being harder, they force you to get better. And that's the same with every situation that you put yourself in. Once you get to a level where you jump in, like, see what you're doing as a league. See myself, I coach. I can see coaching as a league. I want to be amongst the elites. So what I've got to do, I've got to jump into programs with the people that are at the higher side and then see what they're doing. If I was age, see what they're doing, challenge myself, they may have some good coaches there, so what sort of coaches can I do? But don't rush it all the way though, you feel what I'm saying? Be patient, but at the same time, just stretch yourself a little bit. Become uncomfortable. Spend a little bit more than you're comfortable with. Ask a few more people than you're comfortable with to jump onto your course or to sell your product to you. Just challenge yourself. You feel what I'm saying? And the more that you do this, the more you step out of your comfort zone and do things that you don't normally do, you're going to see results a lot faster. You feel me? And that's what it is. It's not always difficult to be in uncomfortable spaces. You just need to develop the skill sets that allow you to be comfortable within that new space. And then again, that's when the growth occurs. So that's literally the main thing here, like stepping into those spaces that are uncomfortable. If you've enjoyed this, make sure that you do hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future videos, you feel me? Just don't stress, don't panic. Just step out of your comfort zone. I'll see you again next time, yeah? Blessings.